Good morning and welcome to Make It with Wool. My name is Rayleigh Burleson and I serve as the Director, Arizona Make It with Wool. Make It with Wool is the longest continual promotional program of the lamb and wool industry. First originated in 1947 by the Women's Auxiliary of the National Wool Growers Association, Make It with Wool involved 13 Western states and was limited to girls and women in 3 divisions. Today, there are 6 categories of competition: preteen, junior, senior, adult, made for other, and the college fashion or apparel design category. The competition is now open to all ages and also includes males. Make It with Wool is sponsored nationally by the American Sheep Industry, American Sheep Industry Women, and American Wool Council. It is primarily a volunteer program funded by private sponsors and coordinated by local, state, and national volunteer directors. State-winning junior and senior contestants will compete in the National Make It with Wool Finals during the American Sheep Industry Association's annual convention next January in San Diego, California. What many people don't realize is Make It with Wool started right here in Arizona. Arizona's First Lady of the sheep growing clan, Frances Allemon, and Ora Chipman of Utah co-founded the competition and created the Allemon-Chipman Scholarship Award, which was presented at the first National Make It with Wool competition in January 1948. Frances's daughter-in-law, Kathy Allemon Kelly, and Frances's granddaughter, Heidi Allemon Serrano, continue the tradition with the Allemon Memorial Scholarship Award. Make It with Wool was one of Frances's favorite programs. I have it on good authority she would be very proud the competition is still going strong today. Next, I would like to point out the wool quilt hanging behind me. It is on loan from the Allemon family and depicts the brands of many of the sheep ranches in Arizona in the early 1960s. As the story goes, raffle tickets were sold and the winner announced at an Arizona wool producers event. I want to make it clear, Frances was not the winner, but she was bound and determined to have this quilt. She offered to purchase the quilt, but the new owner declined. Frances continued to raise her offer until the quilt was hers, and, as they say, the rest is history. Now on with the show. Objectives of the Make It with Wool program are first and foremost to promote the beauty, comfort, and versatility of wool fabrics and yarns. Make It with Wool also encourages personal creativity, whether it be sewing, knitting, crocheting, felting, or weaving with wool. Make It with Wool is keen to recognize creative skills, as well as fostering development of life skills, including being responsible for oneself, being a good sport, accepting judges' decisions, as well as learning about and appreciating diversity. A contestant's category of competition is determined by one's age on January 1st of the competition year. Preteen contestants are defined as contestants age 12 and under. Junior contestants are defined as contestants between 13 and 16 years of age. Senior contestants between 17 and 24 years of age. Adult contestants age 25 and older. Made for other contestants may be of any age. And the college apparel or fashion design category is limited to college students pursuing a degree in fashion or apparel design. Preteen contestants may enter any type of garment. For example, a preteen contestant may enter a dress or jumper, a skirt, pants, or shorts, a shirt, blouse, sweater, or vest, or even a jacket, coat, or cape. Junior, senior, and adult contestants may enter a one-piece garment, such as an outerwear jacket, coat, cape, dress, or jumper. They may enter a two-piece outfit consisting of an outerwear jacket, coat, cape, blouse, shirt, vest, or sweater that is worn with a dress, jumper, skirt, pants, or shorts. Lastly, junior, senior, and adult contestants may enter an ensemble. An ensemble is defined as 3 or more of the aforementioned garments worn together at one time. Made for other contestants may enter any type of garment. For example, they may enter an outerwear jacket, coat, cape, dress, or jumper. They may enter a blouse, shirt, vest, or sweater. Or they may enter a skirt, pants, or shorts. Please note, preteen, junior, senior, and adult contestants must construct and model their own garment. Made for other contestants must construct and then have the intended recipient model the garment or garments. All garments must be completed after January 1st of this year. The entire garment body must be made of wool, wool blend, or a specialty wool fiber. Wool, wool blend, or specialty wool fabrics and yarns must contain at least 60% wool. Specialty wool fibers include alpaca, angora, camel, cashmere, llama, mohair, and vicuna. Trims, facings, interfacings, linings, underlinings, and interlinings may be fabrics other than wool, wool blend, or specialty wool fiber. Now, a special word about vests. A vest worn with a suit, sport coat, or blazer may have a back of non-wool fabric. A vest worn as a top layer or with an outerwear coat or jacket must have a back of wool. This slide depicts the two vest scenarios. The three-piece men's suit on the left may have a back of non-wool fabric. The ladies' two-piece outfit on the right must have a back made of wool, wool blend, or a specialty wool fiber. All fabrics and yarns used by junior, senior, and adult division contestants must be tested for wool content prior to the state competition. I do not test preteen or made for other division contestants, fabrics and yarns, because these divisions do not advance to the national Make It With Wool competition. The testing fee is $7 per fabric or yarn. Judges are looking to see if an entry promotes the beauty, comfort, and versatility of wool. Judges are also looking for creativity in the design and use of wool fabrics and yarns. Judges consider the appropriateness of the garments to a contestant's lifestyle. They also judge the fit of the garments and overall appearance. They would like to see good coordination of fabric and yarn with garment style and design. Presentation is always important. And finally, construction quality. Judging is conducted privately by a panel of 3 judges, and judges' decisions are final. I hope you are wondering, how may I or my students enter Make It With Wool? First, visit www.makeitwithwool.com for a complete list of entry rules. Then, sew, knit, crochet, weave, or felt your garments using wool, wool blend, or specialty wool fabrics and yarns. Please note the deadline to submit your entry forms, fees, and swatches or yarns is Friday, October 1st, 2021. The deadline for submitting completed garments is Saturday, November 6th, 2021. I look forward to seeing you and your students at our red carpet event in November. What follows next is a slideshow of the 2019 Arizona Make It With Wool fashion show. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hi again. Hold on while I launch 2 videos totaling 13 minutes on decorative needle felting. Using wool fabric, wool roving, and needle felting tools, decorative needle felting is designed to engage and educate students on wool textile science. This is a fun wool craft with endless fashion and interior design possibilities.
This is Clover's needle felting program. I'd like to share with you all the different tools that we have. And first of all, we have 2 sizes of brush mats. We have a 5 needle felting tool. It's very nice because it has a locked and unlocked position. So when it's locked, this doesn't produce the needles. When it's unlocked, you're ready to work into your mat. The next thing that we have that I'm going to talk to you about are the needles. The needles are unique because they're barbed. They're very sharp and they have little barb edges on the ridges on the point. And the reason for that is what we're trying to do is integrate the fibers one into the other so that we actually create a felt. The next tool that we have is, you'll see this in action during the demonstration here, but this is a rake that actually can combine the roving together, and you can use it to hold. And you also have this end, which is a brush cleaning section, so that you can clean roving that has gotten down into your mat out. The other style that we have is called a pin style needle felting tool, and it's very nice because it has a cap, of course, to keep it to protect, but it also has 3 needles. The nice thing about this is that you can do more of your fine work with needle felting. You can take out the needles and take it down to just 1 needle. 3, 2, or 1. Very easy to change your needles and to remove them. You will use this cap when you're working with the pin style. When you're working with our molds, and we have several molds that go along with this program, and they look like this. You want to use the guard on the pin style, and it just fits on like this. And then as you're using the mold, it prevents the needles from going too far down or getting caught on the mold itself. So it's really a nice tool that regulates the depth that your needles are going to go into the brush mat. You always want to take this off, put the pen section back on, and put the cap on when you're done. And by the way, you can also, I didn't talk about it at the beginning here, but these can also be changed as well, the needles in the 5 needle felting tool. It's just a matter of taking out this disc and then pulling out your needle and replacing. So there you go. The other thing that we have is that the star of the show is the wool roving. These are just a few of our colors, but it comes in many, many different colors. The next thing that I want to do is to show you some technique of how all these tools work. And the first one, we're going to use the large mat. We're going to use the 5 needle felting tool. We're going to just take some roving, which is unspun wool, and we're going to pull off a chunk, and you'll see that it's all in straight lines. What you want to do is really stir it up. And if you want some extra coloration to give it a little bit of dimension, you can mix your colors, and that's always fun to do. And that's where your rake is going to come into handy. So it's almost like carding. If the fibers are straight and not jumbled up like this, you won't get a good felt. So it's very important to have just the biggest mess you can create. We like that about our crafting. All right, once you've done that, you're going to put it onto your brush mat and then just begin. Oh, it's in the lock position. It's a good thing. Fast, quick touches. I like to pick it up from the edges and roll it in. A lot of times that will give you a nice nice edge on your felt. You're actually creating felt right now. So as these barbs are going through the roving and to the brush mat, all these little fibers are getting stuck together. I'm going to do a little bit on one side and then turn it over and felt again on the back. It's quite an interesting process. Like making bread in some cases, where you're kneading back and forth, one side and then the other. You can tell when this gets to the right consistency because it has a solid feel to it. And if you want it thicker, of course, just add more roving. If you want it thinner, then less. Once you get it so that it's a nice piece of fabric, you then can go in and cut the shapes that you want. You can use something that you've drawn, or you can be just as creative as I'm doing, and I'm just free forming a cut here. And there you go with your shape. Now that's ready to either be a dimensional or to go right onto a piece of another piece of felt or onto a garment. This is a case where we made our felt right here and just put it onto a hat and a scarf. So that's, and you can see that this has got two different colors of roving in it as well. So that's that technique. The next one I want to show you is using our molds. And with that, we're going to use the pen style. We're going to do the technique where we can make dimensional flowers. And our molds are such that they have, for instance, on this one, this is for the rose, it has 3 sizes of what looks like hearts, but they're the petal shapes for the rose, and they have the leaf. So we'll be putting roving into those sections. Again, we're stirring up the roving. It needs to be pretty much scrambled up. We also have a tool that helps stuff into the mold. It comes with the pen style tool. Once that's in there, we're going to want to, as I suggested before, take the pen section off and put the guard on for working with the molds. Okay, when that's on, you'll also notice that I'm working with a piece of paper. This is going to be 3-dimensional, so I don't want my roving to integrate with the mat below. So paper is going to keep that separate. Again, this is just short, quick punches, working the edges. So you want your edges worked down in there first. Then you're can go through the center. Now, I don't pull this all the way out and down. I just bring it up slightly because I don't want to catch a needle on the edge of the mold. That's a quick way to break it or bend it. So remember, just keep your pen style felting tool straight down in the mold and work. Once you're fairly satisfied with how it's looking, then you're going to want to lift it off, peel it off the paper, flip it over, and we're going to just work that shape one more time. Sometimes you can do it 2 or 3 times, but when you get done, what you want to do is you want to have it look like this, where it's a nice solid piece. When that's done, then you will take your pieces and you can just set them together and using your pen style, integrate at the tips. And you see we've layered heart upon heart, small, medium, and large. And then we've integrated the leaf to the back. And all of this is done using your tool here. At this point, we can go to the pen style part, which I really like to do. It gets me down just a little bit closer to my needles with protection. And you'll just go right in and attach all the different pieces together just like this. When you get down to putting on your leaves, you'll go down right into here and attach those leaves. Okay, the third style of our program is that you can take a piece of felt and one of our molds and just do the design directly onto the felt. So again, I've got a place in here where it's got a stem. I'm going to take my roving and twist it a little bit and use my tool to shove it right down in there, right down in the mold. Some of these have little places. And you want to get the roving right down in there. So that's the use of this tool here. A little bit of leaf coming off that. Again, we're going to stuff it in, bring it down. You don't have to have quite as much roving in this when you're going directly onto the felt because we're not doing a 3-dimensional, you're doing more of a seam. The process is the same. I just want to show you what the result is like. So here we've done our rabbit mold with clover right onto the felt. We also have butterfly, snowflake, and a groundhog. How fun is that?
Hi again. This concludes my Make It With Wool briefing. Thank you for attending, and I will see you in a few minutes at the live question and answer session. Goodbye.